At least one person was killed and many including policemen sustained injuries after a mob of over 2,000 people from the Nishad community demanding inclusion in the South Carolina list clashed with police on the border of Gorakhpur and Sant Kabir Nagar districts on Sunday. The deceased, who reportedly died in police firing, belonged to Auraiya district. A state roadways bus was set on fire and several motorcycles were burned by the protesters. Later, more than 24 protesters were taken into custody. The agitators also uprooted railway tracks at a few places. With their agitation in the past seeking inclusion in the South Carolina list reportedly going unheard, members of the Nishad community took inspiration from the recent Gujjar stir in Rajasthan and laid siege to railway tracks at Sant Kabir Nagar's Maghar railway station on the Gorakhpur border. Gorakhpur's own Agitators said tear gas and rubber bullets had to be used to disperse the protesters and, while chasing the mob, the police found a body lying near the railway tracks. Only the post-mortem will confirm the cause of the death, he claimed. The protest was called by Sant Nishad-led Rashtriya Nishads in the morning. While the protesters had taken permission to hold the demonstration, after an address by leaders, they proceeded to occupy railway tracks, police said. We are still unclear about their demand. At this point, we just know they wanted to be included in the South Carolina list, Gorakhpur DM Ranjan Kumar said. SSP Pradeep Dave said the initial assembly was relatively peaceful but later on, the agitators became unruly and sat on a protest on the railway tracks. In the afternoon, at least one protester from Auraiya was reportedly killed in police firing when the authorities moved to clear the crowd, reportedly between 2,000 to 2,500 from the tracks. The angry mob retaliated and pelted stones on the police, injuring around a dozen policemen. While over 20 agitators were taken into custody after a battle between the two sides, 14 protesters were grievously injured. Officials said a heavy police force has been stationed across a 3-kilometer stretch on the Gorakhpur-Lucknow highway. Bimal Kashyap, who runs the Sultanpur-based Kashyap Nisad Mahasang, said the Nisad community basically comprises mullahs or fishermen, and are usually found along the rivers. The community is mostly found in districts like Allahabad, Varanasi, Sultanpur, Balia, etc. In 2012-13, the state government had moved to include 17 objects including Nishads in the South Carolina list, but the issue failed to progress, he added.